This one is a patron vote winner. The theme was name droppers, so the idea was finding songs that has lots of famous people within it. And of course, this was a classic Kinks song. Let's give them a listen.
Yeah. Let's sit down now, yeah. And on the piano, an excellent young man, John Gosling. He's all right. John Gosling on the piano.
He's all right.
It's like prize giving, isn't it? This is a song that we rarely perform in England. It was on a loser album called Everybody's in Show-Biz, but I think it's a good song, and it's about a place in Hollywood. They got a street called Hollywood Boulevard, and all the stars on the street are there for Greta Garbo and Rita Hayworth and people like that, and you can walk on the stars, and I thought that was a nice idea. This is called Celluloid Heroes. Thank you.
Beautiful piano intro.
Everybody's a dreamer, and everybody's a star, and everybody's in movies. It doesn't matter who you are. There are stars in every city, in every house and on every street.
So touching.
And if you walk down Hollywood Boulevard, their names are written in concrete. Don't tread on Greta Garbo.
It's actually really interesting, and he is friends with Joni Mitchell, but it kind of sounds like it could be written by her, but it has, it's a lot more singer-songwriter style than I'm used to from the songs that I know of the Kinks. And I really love this idea of kind of, I think we're going to get more into it, but success and failure, about walking on the stars. What is success and failure? What do we perceive as that in modern society? And I think that's something that we all need to muse on, especially nowadays, because we're pushed into a certain idea of success with life or with singing, and it isn't necessarily what makes us happy. Perfection doesn't make us happy. Being great at something doesn't always make us happy. What is it? What is it that makes us happy? It's individual, yet it is for everyone. There's a really great book about a study on happiness called The Good Life. I definitely recommend checking it out, and it's following people throughout life and what their ideas of success are. I think the study went on for 70 years or something. I think it's still going on. So fantastically interesting.
As you walk down the boulevard, she looks so weak and fragile. That's why she tried to be so hard. But they turned her into a princess, and they sat her on a throne. But she turned her back on stardom, because she wanted to be alone.
I love how he kind of added a little bit of her vocal stylings in there, but generally he's very smooth and very clear. His phrasing is really, really beautiful, which really makes you feel comfortable enough to kind of sit and listen to those lyrics. But I just love the lyrics here. I love this concept of us turning our tragedies into art. Is that always the best thing for us? Again, it's very individual, but creating stardom out of something that it has been very difficult for us? Is stardom the answer? I don't know.
See all the stars as you walk down Hollywood Boulevard. Some that you recognize, some that you hardly even heard of. People who worked, suffered and struggled for fame. Some who succeeded, some who suffered in vain. Rudolph Valentino looks very much alive, and he looks up ladies' dresses as they sadly pass him by. Avoid stepping on Bella Lugosi, because he's liable to turn and bite. But stand close by Betty Davis, because hers was such a lonely life. You can see all the stars as you walk down Hollywood Boulevard. Some that you...
I love that big vibrato he's got there. I love this. His tone is so beautiful, isn't it? And often, you know, you hear this kind of his rock sound, which is a little bit more oomphy, whereas this is so smooth, and I'm really enjoying the storytelling within this. I think the writing is really interesting, and it definitely gives us something to think about, which is even more important in this world of social media. I'm here talking to you from a world of social media. Do we need this? Do we need this? I don't know. It's a funny old world. I think we live in a world where fame is just for fame, and people struggle so hard to get it, but it doesn't make them happy. You know what makes me happy? Going for long hikes. That's what makes me happy. Being in nature, seeing my family. Yeah.
Recognize some that you hardly even heard of. People who worked, suffered and struggled for fame. Some who succeeded, some who suffered in vain.
Why is that so hard for us?
Dreamer, and everybody's a star. Everybody's in show.
Yes, see? We're already these things. We don't need to be on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's difficult because we all want social validation, but we are really, really told in our lives like the wrong things about happiness, what's going to make us happy. And as I've grown older, my concepts of happiness have changed a lot, and we need to do, we feel like we need to do more all the time in order to be happy, when sometimes we just need to let go and be less. And that is a great rule for singing. It's a great rule for life. Everything that applies to singing applies to life. Anything that applies to learning a skill applies to life. And the great heroes of music, they either have lessons in which you go, gosh, I don't know if that's the life I want to live like them, or they have wisdom.
It doesn't matter who you are, but those who are successful, be always on your guard. Success walks hand in hand with failure along the Hollywood Boulevard. Well, you can see all the stars as you walk down the Hollywood Boulevard.
What wing stars?
Some that you recognize, some that you hardly even heard of. The people who work, suffer, struggle for fame.
we trying to prove, I guess? And you know what's really interesting about this song is that I feel like he is not trying to prove anything. His vocals are kind of within a smallish range. It's just about telling that story, and to me, the best music is just telling the story.
Heroes never really die.
It's not about him.
I wish my life was a non-stop Hollywood movie show, a fantasy world of celluloid villains and heroes, because celluloid heroes never feel any pain, and celluloid heroes never really die.
Such an interesting song, such wisdom. That's a song that leaves us with some important lessons, and you know, like they were talking about this in 1977, and the Wild has made these ideas, has taken us even further away from these ideas. At least at this point we were, I don't know, looking at Zen Buddhism or whatever was popular at the time, but the world is changing now, though. I think for the better.
But Daddy, I